Hello guys. So we finally got the details on the new Nekroz support. Actually, we got it a couple days ago. I took a little bit of my time to actually make this video because I wanted to cook combos for this, and I want to go over the new Nekroz support. You probably have already read it as of this video, so I'm not going to go too far about it. Basically, we got Avance, Swordsman of the Nekroz. He special summons any Nekroz non-ritual monster from your deck when normal summoned. And if you tribute him once per duel, he can recycle uh, banished Nekroz cards from your banishment into your hand, but that is only. And you can only add one copy per name. Um, but this card is pretty solid and gives you some very funny plays that you can do. And also, it enables you a couple one-card combos. And not only that, this card enables you to go easily into XYZ plays if you ever so get dimensional barriered on your ritual cards. Or you can force your opponent to debarrier your XCs monsters so that you don't summon a Totally Awesome or something. So that is this. Best card that we got is Emilia, Dance Princess of Nekroz. This is basically a Manju that can special summon herself for Nekroz specifically, only with the difference that she can add the third card that we got, which is Nekroz Divine Mirror, a quick play spell, back to hand, from your deck to your hand. And also, this card is really good when it comes towards extending a little bit, and there are some fun plays in the combo replays that I'm going to show. And in general, I really enjoy that Amelia is a card. The third one is Nekroz Divine Mirror. This is the quote unquote Nekroz trap that we got, or our wet dreams of summoning Nekroz of Trishula on your opponent's turn. Um, During the main phase, you can summon one Nekroz ritual monster from hand or banishment, which is pretty important that you can summon from banishment. By tributing monsters from hand or fields, and sending monsters from extra deck to the graveyard whose total level equal or exceed level. The important thing is you can only send Nekroz monsters from your extra deck to tribute. So there's basically only one card that you can go over her in a second. And the second better effect is during the main phase, you can banish this card and one Nekroz monster from your graveyard, add one Nekroz spell from your deck to your hand. This is slightly different than every other Nekroz spell because you can use it while controlling monsters. Very relevant for a certain support card that suddenly became real, even though this card has not seen play ever since it's been announced, and this is Nekroz of Ariadbar. Because you can Foolish Divine Mirror with Ariadbar, and that is another way you can get to your Nekroz spells, which means that Klausulas is no longer a choke deck, or not a big choke point. It still kinda is. Klausulas is still. Um, yeah, Nekroz Divine Mirror is solid and should be free of in your deck. For sure. Avance, some people might play this at 3, but I'm playing it at 2 because this card is a big choke point. If you get impermed on this is really rough. Um, Also, both of these monsters have a little bit worse version of the Shuret's tribute bypass effect, which means while you control them and they're not impermed or something, you can use them as full tribute. Not if they're in your hand or in your graveyard or somewhere, then it does not work. But if you control them, they are full tribute. Pretty big. Um, and then the last card that we got, which I don't even know if I want to play, but there is like a little bit of merits playing her. Nekroz of Metaltron. Uh, for her quote unquote discard effect, aka the pendulum effect. Whenever you banish a Nekroz card or your opponent banishes one, You can target a spell trap on the field and banish it, which is it is okay. I guess it exists. Utility. Never say no to utility, but I wished it would have gotten more of a consistency effect or something like that. Like adding a banished Nekroz card from your grave from your banishment hand or something, or returning it to the graveyard. That would have been really good. But that is unfortunate. On summon of the summon effect, when this thing is on your board, is that it can quick effect target one face-up monster your opponent controls and banish it until the end. Banish itself until the end phase, and then banish that opponent's card permanently. That monster. Um, Once per turn. And also, it causes any monster that you run over with Nekroz monsters to be banished. Uh, which I guess beats floating effects like Burning Abyss, which is really funny that you finally have a tool to deal with Burning Abyss. Um, Otherwise, I don't really see this card because it is so hard to predict both this card and Aridbar at the same time, because Aridbar kind of naturally summons itself in this deck, but Metaltron does not. And the most infuriating part about this card is that it is a worm. Um, it being a worm means that you cannot search it off of Great Sorcerer. It is so unfortunate because it could have been a cool combo play to search it off of Great Sword. But to Great Sork, I have some stuff to say too. Very interesting. Um, so now I want to show you guys the reason why it took so long for me to post this video, which is specifically this. I'm working on a spreadsheet covering all the basic combos within Nekroz here. There are some really cool lines, and I'm specifically designing them to count how many Fuvalos draws you get. And I'm trying to make them as basic as possible, which means that we are going to use the deck list that I have shown there. So we are not using stuff like Catastor, which other people are using, because Catastor is literally only there for the Reborn effect, which I do not really like. There are still some cool things you can do with Catastor, but honestly, just the Reborn effect for me, that kind of makes the card okay to be played. And better keep a minimal deck. Keep it at 40 because this deck is bricky. And yeah, so I did a couple of combo videos, and in the description of this video, I will be posting the spreadsheet, and I will be continuing the spreadsheet if I find new lines, or if you guys recommend lines to play. I am going to say off of this right now, I will probably not include Catastor lines, and mainly focus myself on the basic Necroz lines. But anyways, let's get into those. So, 1 second. Back to the list. Yeah, so this list is what we're going to use for the replays. The first one is a one-card combo revolving around Nekroz of Brionac or any way to get to advance. So let's go over this. This is a very greedy combo, but it minimal ritual spell effects, which is relevant. So let's go. Search Advance, normal summon Advance, special Emilia. Emilia searches Nekroz of Unicorn. Overlay into Bahamut Shark, special Totally Awesome. Nekroz of Unicorn adds back Emilia, very important. Then you go ahead, special summon Emilia, overlay into Twins of the Eclipse, link it away into any link 2 that you desire. Then you get a new chain link. Chain link 1, Twins of Eclipse, target Toad, and Bahamut, and chain link 2, Totally Awesome, targeting Nekroz of Unicorn, so that you get yourself an add back of Unicorn. And now Twins of the Eclipse will special summon a Bahamut Shark with Totally Awesome attached. attached Totally Awesome to special another Totally Awesome. You get another Totally Awesome trigger to search back Amelia from your graveyard. So you're going to end on any link 2 that you desire, plus Totally Awesome, plus technically some fodder to go to a link 3 or to go for an S Little Knight or whatever, and you get 2 cards added. And this combo can be extended by having literally any access to any ritual spell. Like, for example, if you have any Clausulas, can now use Clausulas to search Kaleidoscope, and then Kaleidoscope to summon Nekroz of Unicorn. And the nice thing about Totally Awesome is that it is a negate that works under Unicorn. And while Unicorn is there, Totally Awesome cannot be negated because it already is negated, which is really, really funny. Um, but you might remember this back in the days from my combos with Arclight, because Totally Awesome sort of functions like Arclight. And as follow-up, we get Emilia, and we get another Totally Awesome add back, which could be a Brianak, could be also an Advance. And also the nice thing about this combo is that it does not use the Advance add back effect, which is really relevant because strategically, I would actually suggest to avoid using the advance effect turn 1, because it's going to damage your grind game significantly, or like your potential grind game, and better use it for when it is like extremely powerful. For example, if you already banished a couple divine mirrors or some other Nekroz cards, where something else happened, like Shifter, then it becomes like super relevant that you keep this effect for as long as possible. The bad thing about this combo is that it gives like here it gives 6 draws off of Fuvalos, which is quite a lot. So there's always like an alternative. This is the alternative that does not play into Fuvalos much. This will get your opponent 1 draw off of Fuvalos, but you also get a way weaker. So normal summon Advance, special summon Emilia. Your opponent gets a draw here. This token symbolizes the draw. Nekroz of Brianak, add back Eidbar. Eidbar tribute Emilia, send Divine Mirrors, special. Then you banish the Brianak for Divine Mirror to search yourself cycle. Then you cycle away the Advance to special summon Nekroz of Eidbar. And then you're going to use Advance Effect, add back Divine Mirror and Breenak. This is optional, by the way, to add back those. You could also wait for next turn. But this is like the average play that you can do if you get Fuva Lost on the effective Advance. Um, Next combo. This one is very specific because if either you or your opponent opens Shifter, this is a very funny alternative line you can take, specifically under Shift. So Shifter is being discarded, Nekroz of Brina Advance, Advance special summon Emilia, search yourself Nekroz of Eidbar, Tribute both Emilia and Advance for Eidbar to send Great Sorcerer of the Nekroz and Nekroz Mirror. Why are we sending Great Sorcerer? Simply because it is another plus that you can get. And technically, there is an alternative line that I can shift to, where Great Sorc actually gets you access to more stuff. Because this line is going to end on Eidbar and a lot of add-backs. So now that we banished all of these cards, get some triggers. Chainlink 1 Advance and Chainlink 2 Great Sorcerer. The nice thing about Advance is that this card does not target. And also, the Necro spell that you're sending is completely irrelevant what kind of Necro spell you because you can use any of them. So now Greatsword resolves and Advance resolves. Greatsword is going to banish, going to send to graveyard Assured, which then gets banished by Dimensional Shifter. And then you get an add back off of Necros of Eidbar. Not Eidbar, Advance. And as you see, we go like +7, which is completely funny. Then you Necros Mirror here. tributing the Shuret, summon Nekroz of Eidbar, and then Shuret is going to trigger searching a Nekroz of Klausulas. And now you have the option to either keep this as is, or continue onward by sending Klausulas to the Banished Zone and searching Divine Mirror. And then you can set Divine Mirror, which then ends on a Greatsword that you contribute for Necros of Klausulas to search yourself either Necros of Unicorn, Necros of Valkyros, or Necros of Gungnir. You get a Klausulas as an interruption, and you get Necros of Eidbar. And as said, you get like infinite follow-up. You actually get so much follow-up that you probably have to discard cards in the end phase, which is so hilarious. The only bad thing about shifter lines, and which is why I not encourage people to main deck shifter in this deck, is because these lines are very vulnerable to hand traps. If your opponent shifters you, you always have to keep lines in mind so that you can punish your opponent for opening specifically. Um, then there is like one variant of this combo that I want to actually showcase, which is one that ends on Unicorn instead. So we go here. Give Dueling Book a little bit of moments. Dueling Book is kind of slow right now. So this is, again, Brionac plus Shifter or Advance plus Shifter. If you open Advance, with Emilia, you search Brionac, and with Brionac, then you search Eidbar. Very important. So Shifter resolves. Nekroz of Brionac is discarded. Search Advance, Special Emilia, search Eidbar. Eidbar tribute everything. Banish Kaleidoscope. This is now important. Need to banish Kaleidoscope specifically, and Greatsword. So now you get Chainlink 1 Advance, Chainlink 2 Greatsword. Greatsword is going to banish yourself a Nekroz of Unicorn, and then you get the add backs. You're going to add back literally everything. So give it a little bit of time because DB takes its time. And then you can Kaleidoscope, banishing any card that you want to get rid of to summon Nekroz of Unicorn. And this is how you get yourself another Floodgate on the field if you're playing against a deck that is very susceptible to Necroz of Unicorn. So yeah, keep this in mind. Very smooth lines that you can do. If you want to look at more combos, I will, as said, have the spreadsheet in the video description, and I will pin it as a comment. It's free for use. I do not charge money for something that people will figure out by themselves, and for a deck that does not that is not tier 2. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this new support. Maybe I will try to cook this with Dogmatica, but as of now, I want to cook it as possible. Um, yeah. So then here again is the list. It might be that this deck is probably going to be a going second deck. And something that is completely optional to play is Ariel. This is literally just a tech choice specifically for Ryziel. If you normal summon Avance into a detonator attached with an aggregator, what you can do is instead of summoning Emilia off of Eidbar, when they chain the detonator, you can summon Ariel, and then your opponent is basically forced to tribute the Ariel to negate the Ariel. Or actually, their aggregator is going to negate literally nothing. It's pretty relevant when going second against specifically Ryziel. I still have to test more matchups. Deck is still kind of vulnerable to mass hand traps, and the engine itself is fairly bricky because it is a ritual deck. But you have a lot of options now, and hooray, we can finally go plus 1 in this deck. Actually, more. Um, yeah. If you guys have suggestions, I read every comment, and if a comment looks good, I will include it into the spreadsheet and credit you accordingly. Okay? Anyways, see you guys. Bye.